Liberal media clowns can do this. You and I guess, we're considered conservative media clowns. We can't do this. Liberal media clowns know that they can become complete embarrassments. They can rip a 9-year-old boy and others with absolutely no consequence. In fact, it's not only media clowns, it's liberal politicians, as you're going to see an incredible bumble and stumble by Joe Biden coming up. But I got to tell you, liberal media can just make fun of their own viciousness. They can make fun of their own stupidity. They can make fun of their own ignorance, and they can get away with it. Case in point, there's a little boy, Holden Armenta. Holden Armenta is a 9-year-old boy who went with a costume headdress. Half his face was painted black, half his face was painted white or red. And you're probably tired of hearing it, and I kind of am too, but not for your reasons. A lot of times we get tired of hearing about stories. People are telling me, you're obsessed with Jim Harbaugh. I'm not obsessed with nothing. I'm just telling you the most interesting things to me. Well, the most interesting thing about Holden Armenta is not that he came to the game with his face half painted black, half painted red, and a headdress. No, it was Karen, who is a man, Jay Phillips, writing an article saying the NBA or the NFL has to get rid of this blatant racism. He was totally stupid. He was totally ignorant. He had no idea what he was talking about. He's a race-baiting clown that somehow, some way is employed. So this kid is a racist. Go to any football game, basketball game, and there'll be somebody there with their face painted with the colors of their team. But the truth of the matter, this had nothing to do with race. This was a little boy who's Native American, by the way, supporting his team. Well, here's the deal. So now, well, let's go to this first. So this blows up. Guy in Deadspin, this guy is getting exactly what he wants, which is attention, writes this horrific article attacking a 9-year-old boy, and it's totally wrong. That's the biggest part. But Dan Le Batard and his knee pad wearing little sidekick Stugotz, who spends most of his time either, well, you know what he does with the knee pads. You know why he needs the knee pads. It's who he is. He's a little punk, and so is Le Batard. Karen Phillips isn't even worth discussing, but they write this horrible article to the point where a dad has to go on a TV show and defend his 9-year-old boy. A mom has to go on Facebook and defend her 9-year-old boy. It's absolutely disgusting. Here's the dad and little Holden Armenta last night on Jesse Waters.
So, Bubba, what was going through your mind the second you found out your son had been targeted like this?
It's been a lot. It's been a pretty crazy couple of days. I was mad, upset for him. Mad that he's upset. He's pretty devastated. I mean, he's seen the videos and everything posted. He's excited. He's all over. It was his dream to get on the Jumbotron. And I've had family and friends call and, oh, we saw you on Sunday Night Football. So he's excited. But then everything else came up, and it's been a little bit of a spiral.
Holden, how are you feeling right now?
It's okay because a lot of kids at school are getting excited, but it's starting to get me a little nervous because if they go a little bit overboard, it's a little scary.
Bubba, would you like an apology? What would you like from Karen at Deadspin?
You know, I don't even know what to think about that. It's a little too late for that. The damage is already done. It's, worldwide. Now there's comments all over. There's, disrespect towards Native Americans and towards my family. We never in any way, shape, or form meant to disrespect any Native Americans or any tribes. The tribe we're from doesn't even wear that type of headdress. This specific headdress is a novelty piece. It's a costume piece. That's exactly what we had purchased it for and wore it for. not in any disrespect towards any Native Americans at all. And it's been a whirlwind of comments coming even from other tribes, from tribal members. Some think it's okay, some think it's not okay. It's a 9-year-old boy supporting his team.
That's it, period. It's a 9-year-old boy supporting his team, and guys like Karen Phillips, well, they're idiots, and they're race baiters, and they're disgusting, and they're horrible, and Le Batard is no different. I even hate to give Le Batard any play here, but you know what? He and his little knee pad wearing buddy Stugotz, they're just punks. They just are, and it's always somebody else's fault. You know, you can look at Joe Biden and he's telling you, the buck stops here, I'm the great uniter, and all he does is blame MAGA Republicans, the Trump administration, and with liberals, it's always someone else's fault. So here's what Le Batard had to say. The right picked this up and said, sue Deadspin. Bankrupt Deadspin. Yeah, it's the right's fault. And I can't help but laugh at the center of this. I can't help but laugh at the idea that they want them sued for racism while the kid is still in full racist garb. That's racist garb? I mean, it's all Le Batard has. You think Le Batard can sit there and talk sports? You think Le Batard can sit there and talk about anything but being a fat-ass, non-athletic punk? Of course he can't, because that's all Le Batard is a fat-ass, big mouth, low rent, non-athletic punk. He's never played anything. He's never coached anything. He's never taught anything. Just a fat-ass, non-athletic punk. All right? The only part of him that's not intentionally kind of racist is the black part. Oh, okay. The rest is team colors, and he's going to for just being a fan, but racism is already in there. Just not the kind the right is picking up and flogging Deadspin over a 5-year-old boy. Like, the stupidity of this is remarkable. Oh, maybe it is. But again, it's not. And again, see, they can just laugh this off because they know there's no consequence. There's no consequence for Karen Phillips. I've said this a million times on the show. I had a national uproar because I told some maniac woman, professor, that I wouldn't, quote, go at it in a pool with her because I was a married man and I didn't want to get divorced. That was called rapey. This guy attacks a 9-year-old boy, and then nothing happens. In fact, he's kind of mocking it. Karen Phillips says, he's a punk. There's no empathy out of these people. These people think, they don't even think they're doing right. They know this is the only way they can maintain relevance. They can't maintain relevance sitting on a show like this and talking sports or talking politics and having discussions in depth on both. They can't do that. They're morons. They're idiots. They're inexperienced buffoons. As I said, Dan Le Batard is nothing more than a fat-ass clown who really doesn't deserve our attention, except I feel as a father, which I'm assuming Le Batard is not, never could be, for a variety of reasons, I'm guessing. But anyway, I feel like as a father, somebody has to speak up for a 9-year-old boy. Somebody in the national media has to speak up, and I'm glad Jesse Waters got the family on there. Now, Shannon Armenta slams the article as well. She slams it saying simply this: this has nothing to do with the NFL. CBS showed him multiple times. This is a photo people choose to blast to create division. He's Native American. Just stop already. That's exactly right. Just stop already. See, the word racist has no meaning anymore. It has none. I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, you know, I used to be nervous being called a racist because I'll care less. I care less because it is watered down, it is diluted, and if you saw the picture, Deadspin intentionally showed the only side where the kid had a black paint on his face. So there it is. So they were trying to paint this as the kid wore blackface. That's the level of Deadspin. They have another race-baiting jackass named Julie DiCarlo, who is the worst woman in sports. She's a piece of shit, truthfully. Awful human being, ridiculous human being, just total, complete human garbage. But you know what? That's what Deadspin has become. And they fake they have fake outrage. They don't care about the people that they slam. They don't care if it's a 9-year-old boy, and then they mock him. These are horrible human beings, and if you choose to follow them and support them, God bless you. But they are garbage.